What's up you guys, it's me Sanne and I'm back with another beauty video. And today we're doing another 3 looks 1 palette. This time reviewing another Huda Beauty dupe. As you may know, I've reviewed Fab Factory palettes on my channel a lot already because all of them are Huda Beauty dupes. The entire brand is kind of focused on being only Huda Beauty dupes. Like literally every single palette they release is a Huda Beauty dupe. However, they don't market themselves as a dupe brand and they actually don't make any commercial or marketing towards their own brand at all. It's just a simple brand that's available at Action that is available to a lot of people, and they're just bringing out the same color stories as Huda Beauty for lesser quality, of course, but in my opinion the quality has always been pretty decent for the fact that you pay nearly nothing for these eyeshadow palettes. So I've reviewed quite a bunch on my channel already, and today we're reviewing another one that they just released, which is the Pink Crush palette. 2 weeks ago I already posted the Mint Crush review, so we're going into its pink counterpart right now, and both of those palettes are dupes for the Huda Beauty pastel collection. In my opinion, these palettes are the least close to their dupe counterparts from all the palettes that they released. Like, you can see it's inspired by it, but it's definitely different. Not like the bigger palettes that they released, because those are very similar. But yeah, this is the little Mint Crush palette. It has a weird mix of shades in my opinion. It's like partially purple, partially pink, partially brown. None of it matches that well in my opinion. It could have been a bit better. But we're just gonna try and see if we can make 3 looks with this. The looks are probably gonna be simple because it's just a very simple palette, but we're gonna give it a shot. I already have swatches of this palette, which I'm gonna show on the screen right now so you can see how those look. In general, I'm suspecting this to be my least favorite palette of all that Fab Factory has released up until now. Also because the shimmers are very pretty, but they're partially shimmers and partially have glitters in them, which I'm not a big fan of. It makes it very coarse and dry and textured and not really nice to work with. Up until now, I don't have a strong opinion about it. The swatches aren't amazing and aren't that bad either. So I just want to see it perform on my eyes and then I can form some opinions about it. So let's get into doing the first look. I think I want to start very simple today with the purple shades. So I'm just going into this deeper purple one. The shades don't have names, so I'm just pointing them out and calling them a number, I think. So we're going into number 4, the deep purple. And I'm just gonna grab a smaller fluffy brush because I'm gonna be trying to do a halo eye. I have already applied a tacky base, an eyeshadow primer, because I always wear eyeshadow primer with every single look that I do, so it would be unfair to try out this palette without a tacky base. This shadow is a lot lighter for some reason than I expected, but we're just gonna try and build up that color a bit. The shade itself is pretty nice. It's like a grungy purple, a bit more cool toned, but right now it isn't applying too well. I feel like it doesn't really build. It's getting a tiny bit of hard pan already. And it turns out a bit patchy. I feel like blending in itself isn't too big of an issue. Like the blending is pretty decent, but the building up of this shade just isn't nice. Starts pulling into my lines already. Okay, so this shade itself is a pretty nice color, but just it's a struggle to apply. It's fine, it's not good, it's fine. But I'm just gonna go into the matching shimmer, which is this one, number 3. It's a lovely cool toned blue purple shimmer. It feels very dry and coarse. Apply that down the center. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm applying it and then it kind of just rubs away. It just doesn't really stick. I'm just gonna try a different approach because it is such a dry shade. I'm gonna go in with a flat brush and my setting spray and see if a wet brush makes it any better. Okay, that is making it quite a bit better, as you can see. That's quite a difference. And the longer I look at that dark purple matte, the more I hate it. It's so patchy. Okay, so I have the 2 shades applied. They match pretty well together, but I must say neither one of them is really, you know, doing it for me. So I'm just gonna be finishing up this look with extra details and then I'll get right back to you. Okay, I'm back with the finished look. I have some opinions on this makeup. Like in general, I like how the look looks on me, but that's just because it's a nice color. It looks nice, but the quality of the shadows just isn't there. Not even for Fab Factory standards. Like, I know it's a really affordable brand, so you shouldn't expect too much, but all the other shadows that I own of Fab Factory just perform way better than this one. From a distance, this look looks, you know, nice, because I'm wearing purple. I love purple, but just the quality just isn't there, not even for the lower standards that I hold Fab Factory to. To finish up this look, I added the by Libby Beauty Erin lashes, and for the lips I'm wearing a Miki eye pencil with the Catrice Volumizing Lip Booster in the shade Everyone's Nude. So yeah, first two shadows of the palette, not that good, but we're gonna see what the rest holds in store for us, and we're gonna move on to the second look. Okay, let's get into look number 2, and today I'm focusing on the more pink shades, which I'm still confused about. It's the Pink Crush palette and it kinda only has one pink shade, but that's fine. We're just gonna try it out and see if it works. So I'm gonna start with that one, which is forming hard pan already after only swatching it like 2 times. So we'll see how that works. It's a bit more of like a matte with a shimmer in it. It's not a full matte, but we're just gonna try and blend that into the crease and see what it does. It blends pretty easily, but it just isn't layering. It's a lovely shade of pink, but it's just a bit too shimmery to actually use as a matte. This one is getting a bit patchy as well. Do you see that? This is like the deepest I can get it. Okay, so at least I have some pink on my eyes. So we're just gonna get into the next shade, which is this one, shade number 7, which looks odd because in the pan it looks orange and red. Actually it's a pink base with like an orangey shimmer in it, so it's a bit weird. But we're just gonna try and apply that to the lid. I'm just gonna go in with a wet brush again and see if that performs any better, because applying with your fingers doesn't work that well. It isn't applying well. It also looks a bit odd because the base of this one is deeper than that pink that we just applied. So I'm just gonna go back in with that previous pink shade and just blend this a tiny bit, I guess, because it just looks so odd now. The idea of the shimmer is just very nice, but the execution is just a bit less, you know. So now we're gonna go into this center shade, which is the only shade that actually feels a bit nice in my opinion. It's a golden shimmer, very simple, looks pretty decent. Not too shabby. You know, this is just a decent shadow. And now for a bit of detail, we're going into this purple shade, which is also a bit shimmery. And we're gonna apply that underneath the eye. That one I'm not too mad about. Okay, so we got all the shadows down. I'm sorry, the lighting is just getting very bright at this moment. I'm just gonna apply everything else that I want to apply, and then I'll get right back to you with the finished look. Okay, I'm back with the second look. In general, I just like the way I look with pink makeup, so I'm not gonna be mad at how I look right now. I look cute, but when you look up close, this eyeshadow is just... ugh. You can barely see any difference between the lower half and the top half, even though they're definitely different colors. The shimmer in the center, it's just such a weird texture, and it looks so weird combined with that pink shade that is just way too light and too sheer. It's a bit weird. Things I added to this look are the Rival Loves Me Naturally number 2 eyelashes, which are very, very subtle. These are lovely to wear for every day. And then for lips, I'm wearing the Essence Velvet Matte Lipstick in the shade Hungry Pink. And I've just really been loving adding pink lips to pink eye looks. I don't know. If we're doing pink anyway, might as well go fully pink, you know. In general, I feel cute, but these shadows are just a hassle to work with, and I haven't been happy about any of the shades I've used until now. We're just gonna quickly move on to look number 3, and then we'll talk about all the shades and if there's anything that's standing out to me. And we will see if I might just end up decluttering this palette. Let's get into look number 3. Okay, let's get into look number 3, and we're diving into the neutral and brown shades here just to see if maybe those are something that are worth buying this palette for. I'm going into the brown shade over here. I'm literally like nervous. This brown is applying pretty decently, however it is again a matte with some sort of shimmer in it, and I'm just really not enjoying that. It's literally the most basic boring brown. Maybe I'm just using this palette all wrong. Maybe you should use it in sheer layers, but that's not my makeup style. And if it doesn't work for my makeup style, then this palette is just not for me, you know? But I'm really not enjoying the shimmer in this because it also doesn't look like a shimmer. It just looks like I have weird specks in there. I don't even know if you can see it. And I'm going into this shade, which is a shimmer. Again, feels extremely dry. Putting it all over my inner lid. There's a bit of like a cool toned pink sheen to it. They just all look like coarse little glitter granules just laying on top of your skin, and I'm just really not here for it. It just looks dry and annoying. And then we're just getting in the final shade of the palette, which is this top one. So I'm just putting it in the inner corner. And I wish this one wasn't this dry and annoying, because this one actually has holographic shimmers in it. So like a full rainbow of shimmers, and that's so cute, and I just wish it was a nicer shadow so I could actually use it. And the wet brush does make it a bit easier to apply, but still up close the shimmers just look so extremely dry. It's just not that nice. But yeah, the eyeshadow is done for this part, so I'm just gonna put on all the extras and then I'll get right back to you. I'm back with the finished look. I decided to not even bother adding lashes because that takes a while, and this literally is the most basic look I've ever done. So kind of the only thing I added was lips, and for that I used the Miki eye pencil and the Maximore lipstick in the shade Never Nude. I do think with looks like these, adding lashes and lips makes such a difference. Like, at least I look put together now. And with the other two looks, if I was just wearing the eye makeup, you could definitely tell that it was patchy and ugly and not nice at all. And now when you look at like the full picture with the lips and the lashes, you don't really notice that anymore. So like I always say, lashes do fix almost everything. So that means we've now used all the shades in this tiny palette, and I have some very strong opinions on this palette. So let's quickly get into that. Like you've probably noticed while I was doing my makeup, I was not happy at all. Loads of the matte shades. There is only one actual matte shade in this palette, and it's terrible quality. It's patchy, it doesn't blend, it doesn't layer, it's just not a good shade. And it's really sad because that's kind of the only really interesting shade in this palette. It's this purple one. It's like a really cool toned blue purple that you don't see a lot in other palettes. So it's just really sad that that shade just doesn't work, because it's a very interesting shade to add to your collection, and that's definitely a shade that I probably don't have anywhere in my collection. With the way it performs, I'm not happy with it. It took me a long time to get it to look somewhat blended, and that was just a bit too much effort for me, especially for such a palette. And looking at the other shades, the brown matte isn't fully a matte. I don't like that it's not fully a matte. The shimmers, they may look nice from a distance, but they're extremely dry and coarse and grainy, and they don't feel nice on your fingers, they don't feel nice on your eyes, they don't apply well. It's just a mess. Like, this really is their worst palette I've ever tried, and I've loved all of their palettes up until now. Just not this one. So I'm really considering decluttering this palette. It also makes me a tiny bit sad because I now own every Fab Factory Huda dupe, and I might want to declutter this so that my collection isn't complete anymore, you know? And I don't like that feeling. So I don't know yet what I'm gonna do, but I can say that I will likely never use this palette again. And I'm always very, very positive in my reviews, and I try not to be too negative, especially talking about such budget items. But even comparing this to Fab Factory's own formulas, this is just so much worse than all the other shadows that they came out with. And they have some really nice shadows. I'm sorry for being so negative. This is the first review that I'm actually not happy with the product, so this is something new for me and for you as well. I did not have a nice experience at all, so it's not even worth the €2 in my opinion. So if you're thinking about getting these, get the mint one, not the pink one. The pink one is just not good. That was my very positive review of the Fab Factory Pink Crush palette. Let me know if you have maybe tried this palette. Maybe it's just a batch issue and mine is just a lot worse than others, but maybe it's not. Let me know if you've tried this palette and what you think of it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me. If you want to see even more from me, my blog and my socials are all linked down below, so you can check that out as well. And don't forget my gaming channel, because I just started a new series where I try horror games. So if you want to see that, please check out my gaming channel as well. It's also linked down below. And if you want to see more of my intricate looks that I don't do in YouTube videos, you can check out my Instagram, also linked down below. And it's gonna be it for today. I want to thank you for watching and I'll see you next time. Toodles!